Hi everybody, and welcome to Merfolk Joe's Guide to Modern Merfolk. Whether you're a newcomer to the modern format and think that Merfolk seems like a fun deck to try out, or whether you're a veteran who's been piloting the deck in tournaments for years, I hope this series of videos will help you understand the deck a little better. I'll focus on explaining the theoretical underpinnings of Modern Merfolk, examining the deck at every scale, from individual cards and interactions, all the way up to the deck's position in the very broad, modern metagame. There are 4 essential reasons why Merfolk is a great choice in the modern format. Number 1, the deck is very powerful. Merfolk has always done fairly well in the modern format and only seems to be getting stronger. In May of this year, at Grand Prix Los Angeles, a massive tournament hosting 2,239 modern competitors, there were 8 Merfolk decks in the top 100 and a whopping 5 in the top 32, almost 16% of the field at that point in the tournament. In the end, one of these Merfolk pilots, Simon Slutsky, overcame Affinity in the finals to win the whole event. In mid-July, Merfolk did extremely well in a large series of World Magic Cup qualifier tournaments taking place around the world. This chart reflects the number of top 8 appearances by each deck in these tournaments in 26 different countries. Merfolk trailed only Jund in top 8 appearances with an impressive 18. This number hints at a nearly 9% metagame share for Merfolk. More recently, in late July, an updated metagame analysis looking at data from the past few months revealed that Merfolk is now a Tier 1 deck in the modern format. This means that many people are playing the deck, and many are winning with it. Tier 1 decks are the strongest in the format. They're what other decks have to measure themselves against. So if you're considering picking up Modern Merfolk, be assured that it is a very competitive deck. Number 2, the deck is very consistent. I hate losing games of Magic because I drew a spell when I needed a creature, or because I drew a land that enters the battlefield tapped when I needed mana right away, or because I had to mulligan to 5. I love the thrill of competition and want to compete in every single game. As a mono-blue deck with a very low mana curve and a fairly redundant creature base, Merfolk's opening hands tend to be very playable. The deck takes mulligans less frequently than many other decks. And this consistency absolutely contributes to the deck's power, and gives skilled pilots the tools to compete in virtually every game. Number 3, the deck is very versatile, able to play different roles depending upon the matchup and particular board state. As a creature-based, aggressive deck, Merfolk can easily close games out by turn 4. As a blue deck, Merfolk can become much more controlling by bringing in many counterspells from the sideboard. In combination with Cursecatcher, these extra counterspells allow Merfolk to be competitive against even the fastest of combo decks. Last but not least, the deck is just a ton of fun to play. Many of the cards in the deck have interesting abilities that can be used in flexible ways, and finding the correct line in any given situation often involves a good degree of creativity. I'd like to take a moment now to quickly introduce myself, as I feel it's important to preface a series of videos such as this with a bit of explanation regarding my history with Modern Merfolk. My name is Joe, and I live in Brooklyn, New York. Here's a couple images of the city that I love so much. I used to play at Modern Night at 20-sided store in Williamsburg, a very competitive scene, and did quite well with the deck there. However, I lead a busy life between business and personal commitments, and the primary way I play the deck now is grinding games on Cockatrice whenever I can find a free hour here or there. But all these hours add up. I estimate I play Merfolk between 4 and 10 hours a week, which translates to hundreds of hours over just the past year on Cockatrice alone. If I include all the time I've spent playing with friends and at game stores since I first picked Merfolk up, I estimate I've spent at least 1,000 hours piloting the deck. I know this deck like the back of my hand. I know its strengths and weaknesses. I know all the most effective typical lines of play, and I know how to navigate through perilous board states and come out on top against strong competitors. Most important for you today, though, watching these videos, is that I have a deep understanding of what it is exactly that makes Merfolk such a strong deck choice in the modern format. And that's what I'll be talking about in this series of videos. Something to understand at the outset is that Merfolk is a deck that rewards experienced pilots. If some of you are looking for a deck that you can really grow into over the years, Modern Merfolk is an excellent choice. The deck has a very high skill ceiling. The flexible nature of its cards allows for many potential lines of play, with important choices to be made at every turn. With an experienced and skillful pilot, Modern Merfolk has the tools to beat any deck at any level of competition. The flip side of this is that the deck can initially be discouraging for newer pilots who fail to recognize potential dangers and lose many games as a result. Don't be discouraged by these losses. We have the most to learn from the games we lose. Simply by observing what worked and did not work in a given game, we improve. Keep a good attitude, trust in the power of the deck, and you'll soon find yourself winning more games. This concludes this introductory video. Please join me for the next video, which will focus on how the deck wins. As always, please leave any comments or questions you might have, and please subscribe if you enjoy my videos. Thank you.